If I was starting social media again to grow my business, attract high quality leads and clients that want to pay the most amount of money to solve their problems, here's exactly what I would change. You're an expert in a particular field. You know your customer better than anybody else. You know their darkest pain points and what their goals are. So to talk about how they can achieve them, to showcase social proof around how others that have worked with you have achieved those goals, and to share your views, your stances, your beliefs on what is wrong with your current industry and how people get those results typically is very important to attract people that are interested in doing business with you. On the other hand, you can get famous for being beautiful. You can get famous for being hot. You can get famous for talking about food. But if you don't make a living off that stuff, you're generating a lot of attention, a lot of views, and a lot of engagement for what? There is a business angle to this though. If you're famous and you build a big audience, you technically build a mini advertising platform. But if you're not clear on what that platform is going to advertise and what that audience is buying into, are they buying into your food? Are they buying into your looks? What exactly are you going to advertise them? Now, it is a way to build a business, but for the most part, especially if you follow me, there's a very good chance that you're the best at what you do and you want to generate more high quality leads and sales. And that is going to require you to let go of followers and let go of generating views just for the sake of generating views and followers. Because guess what? They do not pay your bills. High paying customers that pay in full, pay in advance, and want to solve their problem now, they pay your bills. If your business is growing through word of mouth and just general people recommending you, that's amazing. That's great. But the very minute that you add more team members, add more space to your facility, or grow your business in any capacity and take on more expense, you need more customers to pay those bills. And word of mouth is not scalable. So the real question is, what platform do my current audience hang out on? And here's exactly what you do. You go and ask your best paying clients, what social media platform do you use the most? What content do you consume the most around set subject? And you find out where they're currently hanging out and who they're already listening to. Chances are they listen to other people that share similar views, stances, or insights that you do. So you want to go where their attention span already is, rather than thinking that you need to go to YouTube, thinking that you need to go to a podcast, thinking that you need to go to Instagram, thinking that you need to go to TikTok. They might be a complete waste of time, but just because they're trendy, just because people are getting loads of views and followers, doesn't necessarily mean it's good for business. Ask your best clients where they hang out and who they're already consuming. The third thing that I would do is I would look at the topics and areas that I know more about than anybody else. Go to the platform where my current customers hang out. I would search that content. I would find the most popular, most engaged, most watched, most subscribed or followed to channels and pieces of content that create material around the core areas that I am an expert in. And I would look at what has gone down well, and I would create my own version of it. Simple as. That is going to give me, to a degree of accuracy, right, there's already content on this platform around this specific subject a lot of people are interested in, and here is a proven model that works. I'm going to take this, listen to it all, look at the frontline hook, look at the body message, and look at everything else through it, and I'm going to give my view, and I'm going to shoot it up and create my own version. The next thing that I would do when it comes to creating content is I would divide my content strategy into 3 specific sections. So you've got a research phase. What day are you going to do the research? I like to do mine on a Monday at around about 11 to 12 o'clock. I like to go in, search the topics that I want to talk about, look at the notes section of my phone, and write out the hooks, the titles, the angles that I'm going to create content on. Then I like to have a day where I actually shoot up the content. I like to do that usually on a Thursday, right before the weekend, and then the scheduling, what essentially is going to go out based off what I've shot. Now, I don't do the scheduling. I like to be able to open my mouth, talk, communicate, and all of a sudden it appears on the internet with a title and a caption, and I have a content manager do that. Why? Because me going into the app and figuring out where it needs to go and what title needs to go with that, and what caption needs to go with that is a massive drain on time. And that takes me away from playing to my strengths. And as a CEO and as a founder, my number one strengths are creating marketing content to grow the business, speaking on stage, and 3, making offers. And you could argue that 3 and 4 are training my team, making offers. They all play into me making my business grow. So where are your strengths? What are the things that get in the way of your strengths? And I can guarantee you scheduling content on a social media app is not a good use of the CEO's time, because your main focus needs to be around the vision of the business, the cash of the business, and the core activities that drive the vision and drive the cash. So you know you do you, but build your business around those strengths. And the last thing that I would do differently on social media is I would make sure that every single week that I have a post that talks about why I do what I do, why I'm in business, why I do things differently. I'd be sharing a polarizing stance that goes against the grain of why you are different. That is so important to differentiate yourself. Why is that important? Because whenever you bring your unique stances, your unique attitudes, your unique beliefs, or the reason why you got into business, maybe it was because you had an experience in your life, you overcame it, and the very thing that you do right now was the vehicle that freed you up, and you want to help more people do the same. I don't know, but that is what gives you unique flavor. That is what gives you unique taste. And that is a point of difference. Everybody's trying to find a point of difference with branding, logos, fonts, or heck, different styles of content. And yes, that can make you certainly stand out, but the main thing that's going to make you stand out differently is the depth of your message, the energy behind your message, and the very thing that you stand for. And that requires you to be authentic. And this is the big piece that I'm going to leave you with. Authenticity is when you are willing to be vulnerable and share a stance that you know people are going to disagree with. Why is that important? That puts out a message to the marketplace that you stand behind your message, that you are willing to be criticized for it, and people sense that vulnerability. You know you've got a great message when you say to yourself, I'm willing to die for this message. And that is the very thing that will unlock the ultimate buy-in from the marketplace. If you look at anybody that you follow or you respect, you like them because they're authentic. You feel safe around their message, and they are demonstrating something in themselves that you want to have. A level of courage, a level of certainty, a level of faith, because they're putting it into their message. And whenever you bring that to the marketplace, you end up killing the uncertainty in the marketplace with your certainty. And the marketplace want to buy into certainty. Why? Because they want somebody that's certain that they can solve their problems. It's as simple as that. I do not want to be sharing stuff just for the sake of sharing it. And one of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself if you are going through the mundane task of posting content for content's sake is, what moments do I really want to share that light me up versus just posting stuff for the sake of it? What would bring me the most amount of joy to share? And I can guarantee you that if you enjoy sharing it, people will enjoy viewing it. Whereas if you're posting content just to tick a box, you'll let anything slide. And that will create an impression over time that you're just creating content for content's sake. Humans read humans. And you can tell when somebody's just pumping stuff out for the sake of it. Your story, your message, your content should deeply engage the people that you interact with, because those are the people that you want to change. Those are the people that you want to influence. Those are the people that you want to lead. And you need to ensure that you are giving your absolute best with that content. And your best isn't ticking boxes. Your best isn't just putting stuff out for the sake of putting stuff out. That's a low standard. That's ticking a box. You're not there to tick boxes. You're there to open minds, invite people into your world, and build trust with you before they part with their hard-earned money. So, save this post, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and implement all of those if you want to up your game on social media this year.